I'm not sure if this is going. My OBS is being weird. Oh no, it's gone. Okay. Whoopsie-doo. So anyway, hello again. Gotta try and be quiet again, because as mentioned on the Discord, it is baby nap time. And my wife just put him down, so there will be hell to pay if I wake him up again. So, you know, whoever wants to take bets on me dying, now would be the time. One moment, just getting my chat situated, and then let me catch you up if you haven't watched in a minute. Today, on this very day, I am going to be resuming work on the consolidated, beautified, turn it into a PC dev cart, and this should be like the last of the work. Theoretically, last time took me frickin' forever, but I did run all the wires to the floppy controller, except for power. So today, the first boring part is that I'm gonna steal the power layout from the old board, e.g. this, and then we're gonna turn it on and see if it does stuff. And then finally, hopefully we can move on to the serial bootstrapping shenanigans so that we can have faster dev turnaround and do funner things instead of just watching me solder stuff. And I have some things to chat about while I'm soldering, so for once, because last time was not amazing for either getting things done or having a fun chat about things. But hopefully that'll be a little bit different today because I can chat about some things I've been doing lately. First, I must, as always, say afternoon to Wereworm, because Wereworm said afternoon first. Good to have you, as always. And yes, so what have I been working on as I get myself a sip of water here? Let's go to the overhead, firstly. Haven't really been working on the GPU. Again, still a little bit burnt out by that, and you know, my last stream was earlier in the week, so I haven't had time either. But all of this has gotten a wild hair up my ass to, and you know this if you were looking at the Discord at all, to do my own PCB fab kind of sort of situation. And it's because I've talked so much about how I enjoy the Zen experience of wiring this stuff all up. But you know what? I've gotten to the point where I have more ideas than I have time, and my time is rapidly disappearing on me as my life goes. So yeah, what I am deciding to do is try and do a little PCB fab action so that I can relatively quickly, like over the course of a few days, slap together a design. I'm going to do power first, not ground. There's a lot of grounds. It's mostly grounds. Anyway, come up with a design, make a mask for the design, UV expose the design onto some sensitized copper clad, etch it with some ferric chloride, and also I found a really cool tutorial on tinning. I figured you'd have to do electroplate, but I didn't realize there's a pretty frickin' simple chemical method for tin plating that seems pretty foolproof. So, just because I can, and that seems fun, also tin plating. And that is my 4 starters. But then, the idea there being is that then I'm not wasting all of my time running wires, as relaxing as that can be, and instead I'm wasting all of my time, doing my boards poorly and making reject boards. No, but I figure that way it'll be hopefully a little bit faster, and I can also iterate as opposed to, like, you know, going to a PCB shop over and over and over again, because there's a minimum order quantity there, and they're pretty freaking fast, but there is a bit of turnaround, whereas if I just did it myself, then I can make the board. If it works first try, then I'm set. But in the probable case that it doesn't, I just start up a new, fix my design and cut a new board. So I'm excited about that, because I think that will also make making higher speed and more complicated designs, which I seem to be heading towards, go a little bit better. Mostly I'm thinking about this, oh boy, that's totally a segue to, did I post that on YouTube? Yeah, I posted that on YouTube. I got myself some more MIPS chips, and because I just can't stop getting in over my head with this workstation project. But, that's half the fun. And to that end, I ended up buying a 64-bit MIPS 4700 chip, which is a ceramic PGA. But the fun and annoying thing about that one is it's 64-bit, so, it's got 64... Well, actually, the address bus isn't 64 bits, because MIPS is weird, and virtual memory is, like, part of its DNA. But it does have 64 bits of actual physical data pins, and the thing is, I can't just use some of those, because it uses this multiplexed bus called the SysAD bus. And so you kind of have to decode the whole thing, because it's got various cycles and your hardware has to respond to it in a certain way depending on what the control lines are telling you. So yeah, gotta do the whole thing. So that's going to be, if I do end up using this CPU, which, is probably a dumb thing to even contemplate in the first place, but hey, too late, I bought some. If I do end up really using it, obviously there's like actual hardware design issues there, because like the CPLDs I have are like, I think they have 72 IOs, period. Something like that. It's on that kind of order. It's like in the low 70s, I believe. Because it's an 84-pin PLCC. And yeah, so like it's a multiplex bus, so that's good from a certain perspective, because it saves me from having to do 128 wires, I suppose. But yeah, that does mean that I have to use all of the pins. I have to run them all into the CPLD to do decoding and whatnot, because of the way that I have to latch the address. So that'll be its own thing. And that's kind of beside the point, though, because the real thing is I have to solder that many freaking wires, which is just time consuming. It's not impossible. It's just a little mind numbing and time consuming. So if I can just, cut myself a PCB at home and iterate that way, it makes it start sounding a lot more feasible. That doesn't mean it is feasible. It just starts sounding a lot more feasible. I did not give myself enough wire here. I need to bridge 2 wires. Wereb says, yeah, but all the messing around with chemicals, all the boring drilling, lack of through-hole plating, lack of solder mask, I still don't think it's worthwhile nowadays. See, here's the thing. So stage 1, I'm doing this in multiple stages. I already bought just the damn it. Just the basic like etching stuff. So I bought the chemicals for doing the tin plating. I bought the actually I need to not forget to go pick up some hydrochloric acid from the hardware store. But otherwise, I got all the stuff for the tin plating. I got all the stuff for the board sensitization and doodly doodly do etching itself, and I mean that's pretty much it. So I'm doing that much of it at least, because then that way I can make a viable board, right? Then like they won't be pretty, but theoretically they will be viable boards. But yes, so drilling. So firstly, if I do all surface mount, then NBD, that becomes a non-issue. But I mean, I clearly work with a lot of through-hole crap, so how about that, yo? And so that was my next thing is, I think I was talking at some point about, like, man, I wish I could just find a cheap CNC desktop mill. At the time, I was saying, because that seems like a nice, easy way to route PCBs as opposed to etching them. And I mean, I might be able to do that too, but the thing is, I didn't realize, apparently I haven't been looking hard enough, or like at all, because there's a sub $200 mill on Amazon that everybody's like, yeah, it's not amazing quality if like you're looking to like actually carve shit, but like if you basically want to do anything besides that, it's perfectly fine. So I think, you know, it's low impact enough that like using that for drilling and cutting board outlines, and especially for like you know, chamfering card edge connectors, would be pretty fucking sick. And then I don't have to sit there and drill holes either, so that solves that part. And so that's why that is kind of my general thought right now. And also, you know, I should not discount the part where, like, obviously this is also just like a fun thing to do. It's something that I want to get back into, because I haven't played with etching boards since I was a youngin'. And I mean, back then, you know, I was a poor teenager, so like I didn't have good materials and whatnot, but now I can drop a little bit of money on doing this, so also just a fun project to mess about. But anyway, so that is part one. Where I said, what light source will you use for exposure? I am thinking for now, because I was trying to really figure this out. I was kind of chatting about it on the Discord, because it turns out UV light boxes are fucking expensive. Like, they get really kind of stupid. But what I've come to realize is that is basically just for if you're actually trying to do things in any sort of like volume or with any sort of speed, because using just like the sun or a lower powered UV lamp, like, you're still getting like, your exposures are going to take a few minutes as opposed to like 30 seconds. So that's fine. I'm not like going for max speed here. I'm just going for convenience and fun. So being able to make some kind of argument for convenience, maybe. So I was looking at those and I was like, I don't want to drop another $100 minimum on buying one of these boxes. So from everything I see, my wife has been really getting into her gardening lately. And from everything I see, either just using the sun or a crappy grow light should be sufficient. We'll see what results I get that way, and then if they're shitty, then I might invest a little bit into an exposure box, but yeah. But so then my hope is if I can like, so clearly I'm like gonna do this as a process. I'm gonna take it a step at a time, and like I said, first thing is the just getting halfway decent boards happening that are functional. And then my phase 2 is like trying to actually make attractive boards. So if everything works out, then my step 2 would basically be to get the router so that I can cut boards, make them actually in, useful shapes instead of just square, do things with card edge connectors, fun stuff like that. Be able to drill holes reasonably. And then I also want to get a silk screening setup going, because then I can do the final wrap-up steps of once I'll have my board tinned, I'll have my board cut and routed, I'll have my where was this? Back in the days I used a mercury lamp from a street light. I have heard of that in my recent reading about things, and I don't know where I would go steal a street lamp from, but that sounds pretty rad. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, yeah, so do like a proper UV silk screening setup, and then I can use a bunch of the same stuff that I'm using for curing or rather exposing the PCBs for doing my my screen setup, and then I can do solder mask, I can do documentation layer, and theoretically probably make like actual like good looking PCBs, which would be super neat. That part would just be it's satisfying part of it. There's no other argument for that. But yeah, that's what I would like to do. That's what I've been thinking about lately. And anyway, like I said, I already ordered all the stuff for doing phase 1, so that's actually I do have to take off at some point today. Because I gotta go to Target and get a folding table, which is the first part of phase 1. Oh man, you know what? I am so dumb. If I was a smart person, I would have just been lifting the wires directly off of here and moving them over to here, because most of them are like relative to they just jump from pins to pins on the chip, so like they're gonna be the perfect length. But I'm being a maniac. Okay, anyway. Fuck, what did I just desolder this from? What a fool. VCC. Definitely I have the thing right up in front of me. VCC pin 18. 1, 2, 3, wait. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What the fuck did I say? 18. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yo. That just melted through like all of the insulation on this wire. Fuck off. That would have not been good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Think I'd give up that easily, PCB. Yeah, I don't know. Part of the thing is that just having PCBs done it's gotten so convenient. It's gotten so easy to do. I feel like it's removed a certain part of the like soup to nuts DIY feeling of things, and that's just the aesthetic part. because you know me, I'm not so much about the like, let's productize this, or like, let's make this a cool thing that people are gonna want their own copy of. It's not like that. That's not the way I work. The way I work is I want to build something because I just do. No particular reason. And so it's like, if you're trying to, if it's a means to an end, then like the efficient thing is to really check your design and have PCBs made, and double and triple check that design, and that way you're going to have fast turnaround, good boards, not too much overhead. But the part I like is the building a thing. I just want to build cooler things. So that's why it's not like I think it'll be like any. It might be marginally more efficient, like in terms of turnaround and like the things I'm able to accomplish. Like especially once I'm spun up, like I can probably make individual boards a little bit more affordably than I can have them made by the PCB house. Not by much. It'll probably be about the same, but I have the benefit of, you know, the flexibility and the fast turnaround, and having my own shit right there that I can just go do it. But it's mostly about having the capacity to build cooler things. And I don't know if I'm actually responding to anything you've been saying because I was not looking at chat, but I will in a second. I just want to get this wiring done already. For I have been building this frickin' board for, what's the video caption say, 62 episodes now? Okay, I've been building this board, this particular board, for 4 or 5 sessions now, which is still pretty bad. So, you know, speedrun, as I keep saying. Okay, hope that's some kind of connection or something. Seems okay. Alright, next is from there to second from the bottom. And don't let me forget to hook power to the clock. That's going to be important. Okay, that is literally all of the power, not ground, just power, for the floppy controller. So now I just need to run one to the crystal, and like, that's all of the power run, brother. Cool. Let's see if this wire has enough length to it. let's glob some solder on there because there's like 4 different wires coming in here, getting juice off of the same little junction. And it's getting dry. Dry, I tell you. That seems as good as anything else. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all my power. I never have to do power on this ever again. So now, chat, as promised. Marm said, later on I had success with some UV LED, but the wavelength needs to be short enough. Yeah, what I'm hearing is under 400. We'll just see. This is the whole thing. This is why I didn't buy a light box in the first place, is because I figure I should probably experiment with some shit first before making a capital expenditure there. Worm said, maybe get a cheap nail polish lamp or disassemble a cheapo smartphone sterilizer sanitizer. Ooh. I hadn't thought about that. That's a, I might have to go looking. Was on Finercy said, much better than watching Netflix. I appreciate it. Okay, back to it. Let's get some grounds done so that we can write software, bro. That's the part I'm interested in. Okay. Yeah, that plan of reusing the wires wasn't amazing, or at least was not quite as helpful as I thought it would be. So, never mind. Where to start? I guess top right, and I will just work in a clockwise fashion. I should probably tin this. A random thing that I found out while doing all of my research for this endeavor is, did you know that 95% tin solder is fucking expensive? It's, I was surprised. That's why I didn't buy it. I ended up buying raw tin because Amazon. Because you can get anything. You can get anything. Sometimes it disturbs me. And yeah, one of those things is literally like pure tin pellets. I guess some people use it for bullet making? Anyway, so got a few grams of tin for tinning my boards. Because that's a thing you can just buy. Minor Illusion says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Minor Illusion. Just over here running grounds. Running aground. And once that's done, it's done. We can move on. Okay, this goes to third from the end. Height. Just gonna slop solder on everything. Just get it over with, make my life easier. From the end, I said? Is that what I said? Okay. Only problem with running power on top of the data lines is that now I'm using the big, thick, crappy wires that really jank up the stack up, and then I have to like shove them down into, they can't just be flat. I have to like feed them down to the pin. So that's a minor annoyance that really isn't that big of a deal. but I thought you should know. Okay, now from there we go to third down left hand inside. Just saying that out loud in case you are, building one of these with me at home, because that's what people do. Oh my goodness, oh my gracious. Ugh. And also these are the, the wires where the insulation actually fucking melts on them. So you can't, get them hot. Which is really a bit of a detriment when you're soldering. Like these ones, I will potentially melt the insulation and get a short with a signal wire. And that would be, as they say in the industry, no good. Also, I mean, I'm probably using cheap-ass melty-ass wire, so that doesn't help. But this is why I always say, the power of wires I hate the most. Just in my process. In my silly, silly process. They always suck the most. They're just finicky. And ugly. That's the big one. And there's a certain crossover between, it's not just that they are aesthetically unattractive. I could deal with that. It's that the aesthetic unattractiveness makes it kind of hard to see if you have fucked up or not. Which I'm sure you can see very clearly from up there. Oh my god, this is awful. What the fuck? Really bad. Really, really bad. My wires are fraying all of a sudden. I don't know how that's possible. Yeah, I think I might just have to run a friggin' new one. Part of me wants to say, like, just fuck it, run Kynar. I think maybe I'm just gonna do that. Like, it's gonna be fine. I don't need big fat wires. I just do it so that it's easy to see what's what. But the Kynar's gonna be so much easier. It's gonna be so much easier. This is me giving in. I want to get it done. Dave said, made the mistake of shopping while hungry. Now I'm eating a late lunch beef and cheddar Sammy to hide the evidence. I just had myself a ham sandwich a minute ago. Quite good. On a croissant, homemade. By my own two hands. Okay, and also remind me to like go back and attach the ground to ground, because this is not connected to ground yet. It's just going to be a loop of wires going to nowhere until I remember to actually connect them to ground. So do remind me to do that, because it wouldn't be the first time that I forgot. But yeah, this Kynar, it's just so I don't have to worry about it melting all over the place, and that makes such a freaking difference. But you know what? When I build my when I build my PCB factory, I won't have to worry about that. If it doesn't work, it's not because of my shitty craftsmanship or my bad eye. It is because I designed it shitty. And I have connected this wire to the wrong thing. See, when that inevitably happens when I have the PCB factory, then I will. That issue will arise at the design phase. It will be shitty at the design phase. Much better and different. Uh-oh. You know, I think we might just be having a slightly cursed day, because right after I started talking all that good shit about the Kynar not melting, I had my first melty frickin' Kynar. Oh boy, this bodes well. And I had no option but to restart because the jacket was melted right by where the ground was passing over a 5-volt line, so I'm not going to fuck with that. And the minorly annoying thing is that if you can't tell, there's a ton of frickin' grounds. And it's not even ground. Like, it's not ground plane. It's mostly strappings. Actually, no. That's what I thought. But I literally just looked up and looked at the chip, and it just has a bajillion fucking grounds. Whatever. If that's what they needed, that's what I'll give them. Okay, where were we? So from that one, top, third from the end. Now we go to left side, inside, third from the top. Good enough. Good enough. If it's good enough, you say good enough, and then you wash your hands, and you hope nobody asks too many questions, because you don't have any plans on how to answer. Oh. For a second I thought I shot this little tiny wire out into hyperspace, which is how it goes down, you know, every other time. But maybe my luck is turning because it wound up right here on the desk. Oh my goodness, the wires over here, they're all melty. They're all melty. It's horrifying. See, it's like working with this crap, my general feeling is that the Kynar does not, like, the insulation does melt, but it doesn't really, like, deform too much when it melts, so it just kind of stays where it is. But if you accidentally melt two adjacent bits of insulation into each other, and they stick to each other, and then when you try and move them, they are, what's the word, stuck. And that's what's going on here. So I can't win. I just cannot win. This is going to be another 3-hour video of just me trying to attach a handful of ground wires, which is thrilling, surely. Will he be able to get it? Won't he? Everybody, biting their nails. I will win a Webby for best drama. Oh my god, I think that's connected. Now, third down, inside. I've been trying to do this one for about 10 minutes. I think if I get this, we can officially say progress has been made. Progress has been made. Oh, and of course I just made that dumbass move where I'm like, now that I've done that, I bet I can go back and do that one that's been really finicky, and I can do it just a little bit better, and then totally desolder it. Oh wait, I think I might have just done it a little bit better. Wow. What are the odds? This is still that one spot where I just have to really make sure that it's not bridged to 5 volts. But I think we're clear. I think we're clear. All right. Progress has been made. Oh man, lots of PCB manufacturing talk that I have to, Arm said, don't worry, etching the PCB brings new ways to screw up. Shorts due to not etching enough, broken traces because of etching too much. Yeah, but the nice thing is that those are, from having done it a little bit, those are fairly obvious when you look at the board. And plus it's just like, you just have to, if you really want to be sure, you just have to do a quick run continuity test of the board and you're done. And Worm said under overexposure, under overdevelopment and more, which again is one of the reasons that I'm just buying enough to do etching right now, and that way I can kind of dial in my process, I'm thinking, so I can get each process down one by one until I am doing a decent job, and can make it pretty reproducible. Dave said I made a PCB with electrolysis once, took forever. Yeah, I would imagine. Minor Illusion said, Wereworm, is hot air the main way to work with SMD? I have zero experience with that stuff. And Dave said, hot air, hot plate, or IR reflow oven. And Minor Illusion said, 2 of those I don't know of. Yeah, I would say from, I just want to add my 2 cents, working on the 6500 tutor. Everybody has been telling me for ages, but I didn't listen. But it is very true. SMD is not as scary as you think it is, especially SMD soldering. Rework sucks, and I'm not good at it. I've tried to do a little bit here and there, but yeah, building SMD stuff, pretty easy. What I've been using that's been really working for me, if you're building stuff, is I literally have this heat gun that is like from the craft store. It doesn't go above like 300 degrees. Which you'd say, well then how can you possibly... Chitwick makes solder paste that is low temperature solder paste and works great with that heat gun. Very, very easy to use, and I mean pretty decently priced. It's not expensive, and you use so little of it that it's even less expensive than you think it is. So yeah, theoretically you could do that in a toaster oven too instead of blowing hot air on it, but you can get those hot air guns for like $13. So now let me see what everybody else said. Worm said, Minor Illusion, I do this only for hobby use. It depends. You can do a lot with only a fine tip regulated soldering iron. And I did do a lot of rework and fix up and moving things around with a soldering iron. to pretty up my boards after I had hot aired them. But Dave said IR reflow is basically a precision toaster oven, and hot plate is a precision electric skillet. Oh, Minor Illusion's saying what they're doing would be rework. Still look into the chip quick low temperature solder paste, because the other, like, their original business, besides their original like purpose for that low temperature solder is for low temperature rework, because what you do, I actually did, if you look back, I wish I could remember the video because now we have 25 million videos of this, but I used my chip quick low temperature solder paste to, when I didn't have proper desoldering tools, desolder some shit off the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartridge, because it mixes in with the higher temperature solder and allows the heat to transmit into it a little bit easier. And also, since it's low temperature, it lowers, once it's mixed in with the higher, like the regular solder, it keeps it melted longer, because the threshold of melting is lower for the whole thing. So everything stays melted longer, and you can work with it longer, and that is good for removing chips too, for example, because you can put it all over the legs, heat up the whole thing, the solder's mixed together, and then it stays, firstly, it melts at a lower temperature in the first place, and then you have time to remove it because it stays melted a little bit longer. Dave says something about a common cheap reflow oven everybody's using, but that you can prove them, and that he has a hot plate. He has a Miniware MHP 30 1-inch square hot plate. 1-inch square? Okay, interesting. It's only good for doing one chip or about 10 surface mount passive parts at once. Wareham says, Minor Illusion, for rework, you should get a hot air thingy. A cheap one gets you quite a long way. I would probably agree with that, honestly, because I've spent so much time, clearly, trying to use shit tools to get things done, because that's what I do. I just have fun doing that and struggling. But honestly, spending, if you have the cash, spending a little bit of money on like a real tool is often worth it. I have to admit it. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to doing this PCB etching, is because, again, back in the day, I didn't have any money, so I had to do the super DIY way everything. So this time I can spend a little bit more money and like do it the right way. So I'm excited. Dave said, I don't like the surface finish I get with the chip quick paste. I have to order some normal stuff for the next batch of boards I make. I haven't really paid attention. I mean, I'm just trying to get the job done, so I'm not looking that closely, to be fair. I just needed to surface mount stuff, and it worked, and I'm happy with that. So, all right, let's get grounded again. All right, so we're going from man, there's a lot of ground on this thing. All right, let's go from where we just did, third down inside, to bottom left corner. Well, of course, as always, trying not to redo or undo all of our previous work. Oh my god, that one actually just went just fine. Thank you, all the gods. Oh, and then I rip it off the board. 'Cause I would. 'Cause I would. Are you attached now, you bastard? And now it's going to be too short. No, it's just right. Yes, get in there. Alright, that's the thing. Now we go from there to fourth inside second row. just want to make sure I don't fuck it up. I'm just hopping over 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could stand to remove a couple of these so that I can feel like I'm making some progress. But I'm really... Why am I so nervous about losing my way? I've got the schematic right up in front of me. Did that one, did that one, did that one. Did that one. Okay. Doing this one. So from where I was, hopefully I didn't just desolder things, and then 4 over, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a thing soldered there, interestingly. Oh, right. No, I think that's my my reset strapping, or possibly my PS2 strapping. One or the other. But yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really have to check sometimes. Because I wouldn't be surprised, you know? I double checked and then I went, oh, I am losing my mind. Like, in a general sense. Oh my god, I keep popping these off the board. Come on, man. Having to solder things 2 times. Not the funnest. Oh, also, if I'm saying what the merits of these sweet little blue wires is, because I always prattle on about that every session. With their incredibly small cross section, you can just hold them in place while you're soldering, and they will not burn your fingies because they don't have enough thermal mass to do anything to you. So that's cool. You can just like get your thumbnail right in there and hold them down, which is muy convenient. Sure, I will take that. Alright, now we've got another one of these crazy junctions where there's about 30 grounds all connected to the same pin. And by that I mean like 3. But what's the difference? Oh, so I can't tell if it is bridged over to where this decoupling cap is as well. I think that's a yes. And I think I'm just gonna friggin' skip the decoupling cap because I never needed it. I never really needed it. I know it, you know it, we all know it. I never really needed it. Which of course, that now everything will work fine except we'll have flaky power. There's a cap on this board. I added one. It should be fine. No. Right, so we're going from where I just soldered to any number of places. What I'll do, because there's a little L of 3 pins connected together right there, so I'm just going to make a little L of a wire and just connect them together, just like that. Call it a day, don't overcomplicate it. Doot, and then cut it right there. And I realize my face is directly over this. I point this out every time. I just want to make sure you know I know. I know. It is the way it is. But now can I cut this wire? Yes, I can. If I believe in myself enough. Alright, so let me sanity check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay. And then yes, that goes around there. And then for some reason, I run this back up here. We'll do that in a minute. I'm gonna stick to these ones on the inside for the moment. Just keep on moving. And make a lot of noise so that you wake up the baby and your wife stabs you in the heart. Deservedly so. So, we're going from where we just were. Two. Three over. 1, 2, 3. Which is a little silly because the pin right next to it also grounded. I could just bridge those pins to each other. But too late now. Okay, that one is done. I also need to connect it to the pin diagonal to it, which is right here, and I will just do that with, you know what, fuck it, let's use the thick wire. Let's let it have one more glorious moment of victory, of usefulness. But mainly I'm just doing it because I have this nicely stripped piece with a shit ton of solder on it, so that'll make a nice bridge. And I was correct. It did. And then try real hard to not fuck it up once you have done it in the first place. Okay, so let's stop futzing with it. It's fine. Okay, we continue counterclockwise. We jump from there to, let's see, we go over and then up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, an hour. An hour of this. This thing, always the worst part about this. Well, I guess just building anything that involves it. Why this chip takes forever. I feel like I have soldered chips with more pins and it has taken a little less time. 1, 2, 3. It's this one. Yay, I actually didn't pop it off of the board that time. Now that's skill. Noise. Let's remove some things. We did this. This is done. Beautiful job. Congratulations. You did it. You stay there. For reference. You come off. You come off. Oh yeah. Now we only have 30 wires to go. Oh, that's not true, but that's what it feels like. Okay, so from there, we jump to 2 pins up, 1 pin over. Just why? Why so many grounds? Is it, hey, popped one off the board again. Is it just to mess with me? Is it for noise immunity? No, just to mess with me. 99% certain. I said 2 up, 1 over. Yes, I did. There it is. Apply it. Et voila. Remove this one to make me feel like I have accomplished something. Something. Okay, then we go 2 up. And then we are done with that route, which is great. Which means I really only have like 2 more wires after that. Woo! 3, actually. Because you forgot to remind me to connect it all back to ground. 4, actually, because I also need to connect the clock crystal to ground. Keep up. Keep the fuck up. Okay, so from where we just were. Try not to break it. And go up 2. Yes. Alright, take your bets now on whether I'm going to pop this one off the board as well. Here goes. Well, I didn't pop it off the board, but I also didn't strip it, so you all lost. And now I've popped it off the board, so we will be distributing your winnings shortly. Thank you for playing at the Josino. Yeah, I also have to get my head like right on top of this thing because now I'm dealing with very small, finicky. It's not even so much that like the parts are small, it's that there's a crap ton of stuff in the same space. So it's just super tight. And I want to make sure that I am not fucking it up. Okay. There we go. That's done. Okay, somehow I just removed the insulation on that. That is a skill. And this is just the wire that runs to the bus ground. Gone. Okay, now we just need this one, that one, and one that goes to the bus bar. Bus bar? Yeah. One that goes to the, yeah. And then one for the clock. And then we can put some serial shit onto this thingy and do some stuff. Alright, so this goes from that L-shaped agglomeration, for which I made a special piece of wire. That seems connection related. And then I run that back around to left side, outside, fourth from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think it's my voice that wakes up the child so much as the me clattering around with tools. And that is my gut feeling. Okay, you go here. You belong in this location. I think you will find that you will like it there, if you give it a chance. Okay. Seems reasonable. And that's this one. To this one. Now we just gotta do this little guy. Blob some more solder onto here to make my life easier. And desolder the work that I just did, which of course was completely intentional. And that goes 2 up. I didn't pop it off. I'm so proud of myself. Let's glob on some solder so I don't have to do it later and desolder things. That seems fine. Let's connect it to ground and do a little dance and say that part's done. And then don't forget that we still need to connect up the clock crystal, because that is definitely something I would do. Also, try not to connect it to the power rail like a dingus. Like a dingus, like a dingus. Like a dingus, like a dingus. Right now, just that long awaited, much announced, very hyped ground wire to the crystal. So that, like, this thing does stuff. Okay. Sorry, I was just making sure I wasn't crazy about where pin 1 is on this thing, because the only thing that I can ever remember about TTL oscillator cans is I can never remember how the frick the pinout goes, except that pin 1 is a no connect. So if you have connected something to pin 1, you fucked up. And for a second, I thought potentially I had connected something to pin 1. Okay, done. Done. Shall I give it the old testaroonie? The old beepity beep? Before I do that, let's read chat. Minor Illusion said, Hako Hot Air, expensive. Yeah. Hako stuff is good and pricey. Both are true. Dave says, I have a 12 € hair flattener iron for use as a hot plate. Are you sure it's not for your copious... Oh, that wasn't Dave. Dang it, that joke doesn't work. I was going to say, is it for your copious locks, Dave, but that was Wereworm, so damn. Hey, Lawless. Good to see you. Wereworm said to Minor Illusion, an SMD soldering practice kit is good for trying out your tools. Yeah, those are all over the place. I've never played with those, but they're just... yeah, no one really explained it or noted it, but what he means by those is that it's basically just you get a PCB and a bunch of parts of different pitches, and you can practice attaching them. Wereworm said, when I got my first hot air station, I went to town on all scrap electronics I had laying around. That's been my... things would have been worse if I had a good desoldering gun, but the good thing is that this is a piece of shit desoldering gun, but it works just enough to actually get some things done. Because otherwise I would just be pulling components out of everything. But it's one of the... It's cheap enough that you have to, like, gunk it out every several sucks. So, too much of a pain in the ass to do that with, but... Minor Illusion said, I have some RF modules that have SMDs on the back of them. Only place there are any on the NES that I'm aware of. Interesting. I'm not going to look at that today, but I would not have thought that there was any surface mount on the NES. And finally, Wereworm said, will it still fit in the case? No, there's no fucking way. And I'm not really worried about that. I'm not gonna even try getting it back in the case. Because that was one of the concerns, was like, these, what camera am I even putting in? All the sockets and whatnot make everything way too high profile to fit into any kind of case. Oh boy, sorry, that was my mic. Yes, no. That's one of the reasons that I was thinking about not doing this in the first place and did the ribbon cable doodad. But it ended up sucking, so. Let me pin out now. Pin out? Beep out? Just check some continuities on the grounds and the VCCs. I guess I'll do VCC first, starting at pin 60. VCC is here. Pin 60. Oh no, it's good. Probing PLC sockets is such a pain in the ass because you feel like you're making contact sometimes in some places and you're definitely not. Just because of the tight little channels these contacts are in. Anyway, that's good. What's the next one? Analog VCC, which I'm lazy, so I am using the same VCC. But that looks fine. 1, 2, 3. VCC, yes. VCC, yes. And then, of course, there's all the ones that I'm not sure what they were supposed to be. Like that I ripped off of there, and now I don't have reference for what things were supposed to be grounded or go to power. And so on and so forth. Well, that's interesting. That pin shows some connection to VCC. Which seems not okay. Oh, let's see what pin that is. It's supposed to be connected straight to VCC, but it looks like there's some resistance, which is weird. Let me just really quick check. Oh, okay. That's reasonable. There is resistance between VCC and ground going through the chips on the board. Of course there is. Don't freak yourself out. So I'm guessing, because that's the ident pin, pin 27. So I'm guessing, I think I actually have that one grounded. Because it shows on this example, which is for a AT style setup. It shows ident being connected to VCC, but I think I have it grounded. So we're good. Okay, moving on. More VCCs. Okay, we'll start from the top on this side. There is just one VCC in the middle. It's pin 18, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Beautiful. Now we just have to do the 500 million goddamn grounds. Wish me luck. Okay. That one. Good. Then we go down to, let's see, that's 59. Now we go down to 54, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54. Very good. Now we go down to 50, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Very good. Next one is at 45, which is the second from the last one. Very good. No connect, no connect. VCC, VCC. 36. Let's go from the left, because I'm better at counting up than I am at counting down. Okay, so pin 30. 27, 28. Yeah, that 27 is definitely ground. 27, 28, 29, 30. Good. Then 30, 31, 32. That's our reset line, which is an active high, and I have it grounded because we're going to do it in software. Crystal 1, Crystal 2. Invert, which should be grounded. It is. An actual ground, which ideally would be grounded, which it is. Okay, 50% done with grounds. Let's go 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. Good. Next one is 16, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. Next one is 21. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Which is... Okay, let me double check that, because apparently 20 is grounded, which is a floppy signal. Maybe. Or is that system data? That's the system data line. Hopefully, maybe my counting was just off. Let's do it backwards, even though I'm bad at counting backwards. It's on 21. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Yes, I counted bad. I'm a bad counter. Excellent. Excellent, good. Good and excellent. I feel okay about jamming this into an NES. How do you guys feel? Because ideally, hopefully, it'll pretty much just be software from here on out again. Yay. Okay, our first thing is somewhere around here I put a floppy controller chip to actually put in the socket. There we go. Hopefully that works. we will plug this in, make sure it boots, and then I will double check that. Well, I was going to say I can double check that the one register for like drive detect. Man, isn't that pretty with that final chip in there? Or disk insertion detect, whatever that one is. It's called disk change. Actually registers, but you know what? This thing is supposed to be reading serial data at startup, so I should just be able to tell by poking a wire on it and seeing what we get at startup. Okay, so that's that. Let's pull out the set, guys. We have been patient. Patient. Let's get the scene set up. Let's see if this turns on. This doesn't turn on. Let's figure out where I'm supposed to have this plugged in. I guess let's get the card plugged into the machine, because that seems good too. Continue to try not with it, baby. Do a very poor job of it. Ooh. And have one outlet free on your power strip, because today is a blessed day. There, power. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to clown around? Let's see, does this just work? I mean, it does. I was, for the record, I was asking if the video works. But clearly, this doesn't quite work. Let's just... Yeah, I probably fucked something up. Damn it. Where was that? Do you have a second NES in case things go south? Oh, that's very funny. That's very funny, Werewolf. You say such funny jokes. Okay, let's start by yanking out the floppy chip. Okay, that doesn't do it. Let's yank out. Well, we can't really yank out anything else. I guess that's that. So now, I guess I should start probing things to see what our possible issues might be. Let me check all of my data address lines for shorts to ground, just in case. Wareham says test with an NES game. Yes, that was also on my line, so I will do that in just a second, but I do want to do a sanity check between, do the obvious checks of ground to, because the most likely thing is that, I bridged data or address line. So I'm just going to check them all for dead shorts. Just because that's a fast, easy first thing to do when you've just done a bunch of soldering. And I mean, it could just be not making a good connection too. That is completely possible. Looks fine. I should probably check them for bridges to each other, maybe? Well, CPU A0 and D0 are dead shorted somehow. Huh. So that would probably be an issue. Odd that the first thing I check would be. Yeah, nothing else. Nothing else. But A0 and D0 are definitely dead shorted, so let's look at that. A0 would be going to... That should be pin 7 on the floppy controller, which is over here. Here, let me flip back to the other view where you can't see anything. So A0 is going to here, which is true. And where would D0 be going? That would be going over here, which of course, they're shorted. But how are those two shorted to each other that way? They're not exactly close to each other. Let me trace them. Okay, so that is... I said A0 was on 7? Yes, I did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's the rare case of just... I actually did melt through one of these wires in that way that I say never happens. Let me check. I think that was D0. Maybe. No, wait. I don't know. Just give me a damn second. So that's on 7 and data 0 is on 11. So as we go around the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wait, yes, 9, 10, 11, yeah. But it doesn't look like the short is over here, weirdly enough. Like, that theory about it being that the wire is melted and making contact doesn't appear to be the case. So, like, I must have fucked it up somewhere else? Let's see, where do these go? Oh, I wonder when I reconnected some shit if I reconnected it wrong. That's ground, that should be D2, D1, D0, and then this is A1, but I bet I connected it wrong. Or A0, sorry. That is right. Oh, you know what? I wonder if they are possibly shorting right here. Because this is the, if you remember from last episode, the thing that I'm looking at right now is where I cut a wire too short. Then I had to really stretch it. And D0 and A0 are right next to each other, and I think I managed to possibly fuck things up there. Let's see if that just unfucked them. Yes, it appears so. So I should fix that up better. In fact, I should probably just run a fresh wire. In fact, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it instead of just bitching and saying I should do that. How about you just do it? And then it will work is the thing, which will be really nice. And be really impatient about your soldering iron. Beep! Beep, says Wereworm. Where's good old what's his name of the beepin'? Oh god. Yep, we're in one of those cases where the insulations are melted together. Fantastic. It's an issue that I haven't really talked about because it rarely happens. Except today, it's happening all the fucking time. fishing tiny wires out of tiny gaps of other tiny wires. It's super fun. Come on, brother. Make sure I desolder you from the right location and don't make things even worse for myself. Okay. Alright. Now let's make sure we connect things back in the correct place. Let's do that. Where's my stripulator? Here's my stripulator. Alright, D0. Try not to desolder the existing wires as usual. That's generally a thing that I try to do when I'm working on these projects, is not fuck it up. I would recommend, if you are doing a similar project, try and make that a goal for yourself. Okay, and then also like try and connect the right things to the right places, as I'm going to attempt to do right now. We'll see how that goes. I think that's connected. I think that's a connection. I can't see it. It's under two other wires. Prepare thee for a beeping. Firstly, let me make sure that short isn't still there, and I'm not just dumb. No, 'tis gone. And now let me make sure that D0 actually goes to D0. Let me do it. Let me do it top side. So that is D2, D1, D0, and again, D0 is like, yep, second pin down left side. They're connected. Brilliant. Let me check A1 too, just for thoroughness. VSS. A1, A0. Brilliant. Let's do it again. There we go. I just wanted you to see my big, beautiful face for a second there. Just to remind you that I look real good. Alright, so it still doesn't work, which is super cool. Very happy about that, of course. Hey! Hey! I will take that. I will take that. I will take that every day of the week. Lala said, I fear for that keyboard every time the soldering iron hovers over it. You should. I'm not going to defend myself. You should be very worried. I'm a very clumsy person who doesn't manage my space very well. Lala said, ChatGPT NES is a home video game console released by Nintendo in 1985. While it does contain a microprocessor and other components that can be found in a computer, it is generally not considered a computer in a traditional sense. The NES was designed primarily for playing video games and does not have the functionality or capabilities of a typical computer. What did you search, or what did you ask ChatGPT, Lawless? Did you put in, is the NES a computer? Did you ask ChatGPT, is the NES just a PC? Because that's the correct question. Anyway, thank you. That gave me an internal chuckle. Lawless said yes. Okay, let's see if it still works with the chip inside of it. Oh man. Oh man. Say it ain't so. See if it was actually me putting that in, or if it was just the cartridge not seating well. Nope, it's actually an issue with me. Oh, wait. What's with all that smell? That's new. I wonder if I have some kind of weird issue that is cropping up with data line being too close to a character from line. That's now it's gone. Well, I'm sure everything is fine. So shit. Shit. Why would this just fuck everything up all of a sudden? My technique is flawless. Let me just, for fun, I'm going to put in the chip from the original board. Just in case it's a bad chip. Probably not. I believe these were new old stock, so that would be very, very strange. Yeah, no, it's definitely like I wired something up wrong. Yep, nope, it's no good. I'm willing to call that at this point. So, what do I do now? So it looks like it's probably fucking up a dresser data again. Because it's doing the same kind of thing. It's not like marginal, it's just straight up not accessing memory space correctly. So, oh, interesting question. Could it be the decoding is fucked up? Firstly, I did run... Yes, I ran wires from the PLCC over there. I did do that. But what if it's wrong? Let me try something really quick. Floating pin would explain the randomness. I mean, I connected up everything exactly as it was connected up on this thing in the first place. Except for one random wire that I'm looking at right now. But I think that is a wire that I did in fact actually connect. And just maybe forgot to remove. So that goes to D2, D1, D0, A1, A1, A2, A3. Make sure that is actually where this wire is going. Yes. Let's see. This would be D2, D1, D0, A1, A2, A3. Yeah. So that's A3, and I just didn't connect it to anything. Wait, what? D2, D1, D0. Oh, A0, A1, A2. I was like, why am I getting A3? There's only 3 address lines for this chip. Anyway. Potentially it getting selected at the wrong time and raining on everybody's parade. I'd believe it. So, let us start by simply yanking out the PLCC and just disabling the chip select for the floppy controller. To the desktop we go to the desktop. Koopel, what are you doing? What are you saying? So for starters, let's do a double check on... well, also, remember that time that I put the gal in just completely backwards? You remember that? Probably didn't fry the gal. I've been wrong every time I've said maybe I fried the gal, but, you know, it's a thought that I should keep in the back of my head. So floppy chip enable was on pin 18. Let's make sure that it actually goes to chip enable on the floppy. And put this in a font size that you can maybe actually read. Okay, so pin 18 is floppy chip enable. And pin 18 would be, it's 2019-18. And then, what does my pin out here say about where chip select is? That is pin 6. 9876. Those appear to be connected to each other, so that seems fine. And then write and read. Let's see. First, write B is pin 17. Like, these are all probably hooked up fine, but we must confirm. So that'd be 98765, and that should be going to, oh my god, what did I say, 17? 17, WRB. 2019-18, 17. That looks fine. And then read is the next one down, that is 4. And on the PLD, that is 16, next one down. 2019, 18, 17, 16. That looks fine. All the control wires look fine. So that's good. Now, let's look at the actual logic. So, floppy chip enable. Let's not faff around. Let's just always set this to 1. Which is done in some silly way. So it's like B:1. I keep trying to use Vim commands because I got no brains. I don't think that's right, but I'm going to try and build it anyway. Current PLD file is not part of the current project. What? I don't want to be in any project. Do you understand me? No, I don't. I just don't. I do not. File. Open. ROM FTC member. Open. Dave says, say yes. No! I don't want it fucking up whatever other project I have open. I don't want to do it. There we go. We're happy. I mean, 2 errors, but... Alright. We were saying semicolon? Because, yeah, you nailed it. Thank you. Okay, 1 error, probably that syntax doesn't work at all. It's telling me I'm missing a semicolon, but it's not that I'm missing a semicolon. I guarantee you, because there is a semicolon there now. I should double check what program chip enable is coming from. Well, I use it to enable the SRAM, so surely that's fine. And the rest of these equations I haven't changed them. Anyway, ignore. Just ignore. Can I just use one? Run, compile. No, I can't. Invalid syntax 1. Fine. Nope. Thanks, Windows, for being terrible. Alright. Race is on if any of you can find this before I can. Coupole Users Manual, which I have downloaded several times. Oh my god, it's 2 quotes around the B. Thank you, Dave. That is absolutely terrible. One warning, 0 errors. Amazing. Okay, so if it is the chip getting activated at an inopportune, inappropriate time, then this should keep that from happening, because it will keep it from getting enabled at all. Load. It's just a PC, NES, source, ROM FTC mapper, built at 539 today. Do it to it. Well, I have spilled Diet Coke all over it, so surely that can only help. The carbonic acid will clean those contacts right up. Beautiful. Oh, it's done. Yay. Get the fuck in there. Get the fuck in there. Okay. I don't have a good feeling in my heart. No. Oh, I was really hoping it was that. That would have made life way better, way easier. But no. Nothing can be simple. Yep, okay, no. Nope, it's not. It tisn't the chip select. That sucks. Okay. I would say, should I logic analyze this, but like, what would that tell me? I mean, I suppose the nice thing is that this is very simple to strap a logic analyzer to, compared to some of the work I've been doing lately, but this seems like it should be self-evident. What would make it stop working only when the chip is actually in the socket? Riddle me this. The answer is any number of things. One second. I just want to poke at some concerning looking things for a moment that are probably nothing. Yeah, no, that's not a problem. That's fine, everything looks fine. Okay, I know Chad is yelling at me, so I shall glance momentarily. Just really looking for anything obvious really quick. Anything that just looks like a straight up wrong connection or similar. Okay, nothing's jumping out at me. So, what y'all saying? Dave said, at least you can pull your gal. Oh, at least I can pull my gal. Because he can't in his designs. That sucks. Wareham says, I would have been concerned if it was working the first time. Well, of course. Wareham said, it works some of the time, so one of the higher address lines are chip enables or write enables floating. No, I don't know if you missed that, because I probably just did it without mentioning. I yanked the floppy controller chip out again. So it's without the floppy controller chip in there, it works fine. The problem is, when I insert the floppy controller chip, it takes a big ass shit. A big ass shit. So, that means I did something wrong. Let's do the obvious things and start by looking at the pinout again. And probing. And check in. Firstly, I mean, it's fucking up the data bus or address bus. So, I guess we should check the data bus or address bus, see if it's connected up to anything that it's not supposed to be. So just double check that our connections are right. So let's start with data. So this should be D0. And low, it is. And then ground, and then data 1, which it is. Data 2, which it is. Data 3, which it is. Ground. Data 4. No. Data 4? Yes. VCC. Data 5. Yeah. Oh, no. There we go. Data 5. Data 6. Very good. Ground. Data 7. Okay, so those aren't like connected up to anything wrong. Let's see if our addresses are connected up to anything wrong. So A0 looks fine. A1 looks fine. Ground A2 looks fine. So that's also not hooked up to anything incorrect. I think I'm going to take a quick break. Just like a quick 5 minutes. Run upstairs. I think my wife wanted me for something. And I will have to decide if I want to logic analyze this, which is going to be a pain not for the logic analyzing, but because I don't have a camera on the logic analyzer. So I will be, or I'm saying check the power on reset circuit of the floppy controller. Get the fuck out of here. The reset is just hardwired to ground. So like everything looked right? Yeah. So like we've checked the data address looks okay. The address, the data bus looks okay. The address bus looks okay. Read and write look okay. That's just a decoder for chip select. I'm just trying to think of what else could screw up the bus, and I'm coming up short. So all right, let's. I will take that break. Be right back in like 5. Uno momento. Okay, Wereworm says check the voltages, and yes. You know what? Let's just fucking do that real quick. I had the same thought when I was walking upstairs. The first thing we should do is drop our floppy controller on the floor. I don't feel like getting it, so we're just going to use this other floppy controller. And the baby is up, so now we get to party. We get to rock and roll. Okay. I suppose I should check the voltages with this app. Well, it's already in. I'll check it with it in, and then if it's not obviously weird, I'll check it with it out, just cause. Arm said, all of this makes me want to give my little battery-powered oscilloscope a big hug and a kiss. I have a, Fuji, what's it? Why are my hotkeys not working anymore? I have a old beat-up analog scope. It's a 20 megahertz scope. It's not a bad scope. It's like a college surplus from a billion years ago or something. But of course, analog scope, so not a storage scope. So that's makes me envious of everyone with, you know, new proper scopes. but it is useful. But the problem is it really needs to be like recalibrated. It needs all of the pots properly cleaned and the rotary switches because they are. Yeah, but I do actually have a scope, so I have some toolage. Voltages? Were we doing voltages? Let's check voltages. So, let's put this little hardware store special in such a way that you cannot read the needle. And oh, 1 second. 1 moment. She's not coming for me. She's just in the basement because she needs something, which is très unusual. All right, ground. VCC. Look at that. It's about 5 volts. So it's not like it's sagging or anything. It's got to be that we're having some kind of weird bus contention. But let me pop the chip out. I'll see if it looks any different, even though I don't know why it would look any different. One second, now she does want me. Okay. Right, voltages. I don't even know why I'm doing this, because it was 5 volts, I promise you. Look, it's exactly the same. There's that test done. Okay, so now, prepare your puke muscles. I'm going to attempt moving this camera. See how much slack I have. See if I can catch the logic analyzer. The answer is I have 0 slack. Okay. This connects directly to the back of my monitor. Oh, we might be able to make this work. We might. There's a lot of shit in front of here. And also a tripod mount on the bottom of this thing. There we go, that's what you get. It's good enough. Is this thing plugged in? Holy shit, it's plugged in. Amazing. Okay, let me move the stuff that I just had to move in order to put the camera there. And, you know, point out in advance, this is going to be terrible. Worm said DSO 1511G, 66 euro on AliExpress. I might check it out. I don't know why I'm trying to make this any better, because it's going to be terrible any way you do it. Okay, so let's probe. That's what I'm thinking. Easiest way to go here is, let's just take pod 1. I have not used the logic analyzer live on one of these streams yet, have I? I think I have not. So I'm hoping, because this is how this usually works for me, mainly the thing with the logic analyzer is that it's kind of a pain to set up, just because it takes a little bit to put all the frickin' probes on. But then you run it, you do a couple of samples and then you're like, oh, well, there's the problem. Obviously, right there, that line is fucked up. Done. And I like that. I like that. So, worth it. And I have sitting over here a very useful chip clip. So let's get this in first. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the chip clip onto the chip. Let's do it this way around. Just pop that on the EEPROM, and then I can get almost every single signal I care about. This feels so nice right now because I've been dealing with that video system with a bajillion lines that I have to pay attention to at the same time. Like 13 address lines and 16 data lines, which isn't even really that much, but it makes this feel so consummately doable. Okay, let's attach ground to ground. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look at the pinout of this again, because I have no brains. Okay, pin 14 is ground. And then, let's start with the data boost. IO 0, IO 1, because the nice thing is I can wire this clip up here, and then just pop the clip off, put the cartridge in, put the clip back on. Easy peasy. There's a couple other signals, like I definitely need to get the CPU clock, and I'm probably gonna want to grab a couple of the signals off of the GUI logic as well. But mainly, what I want to see here is, like, there's probably, I'm going to boot this up without the chip in it, and look at what the bus looks like. And then I am going to do the same with the chip in, and it should be obviously different, and there should hopefully obviously be a line that's just not doing the right thing. And then I can track that down and be like, oh, yep, that line is fucked up in this way. Bada bing, bada boom, done. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, look at that. Data bus done. Just done. Easy as that. I would be still working on it if I was working on the other stuff. Dave says, is that a HP 1650? I believe it is. No. Sorry, it's not. It's a 1663C, but very close. Irwin said, you have used the logic analyzer on stream to debug the floppy chip select. Funny enough. Really? Interesting. This has escaped my memory completely. And Wareham said, I find it helpful to print out the pinout when working on things. Yeah. I mean, it's so stupid because it's just this same JEDEC pinout on these 32K chips. It's always the same. It's always the same. But I don't know. Okay, A0. A1. A2. A3. A4. A5. A6. A7. Yay. Okay, swapping pods. We shall start on A8, which is in some weird and silly location. Okay. Wait. Oh, fuck. Did I do this whole thing backwards? Damn it. I did this whole stupid thing backwards. Ugh. just want to make sure I actually put these on in the right orientation. Not very useful to probe things when your probe is attached just like totally wrong. Okay, and then I have to swap all of these. All of these, gotta swap all of these. Okay. Is that good? 0, 1, 2. Yes. Okay, back in business. Where were we? A. Oh! Nope. Nope, so close, yet so far away. All of these ones that I moved over, I didn't need to. We'll get there. Remember when I said this seemed so easy, comparatively? It's not like setting up a logic analyzer is hard. It's just, you know, me being stupid. But yes, anyway, I just got the data bus backwards. The address bus was fine. That's what's going on here. Okay. Alright, back to that A8 situation I was talking so much about. A8 is hiding over here on pin 25. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. A9 is just south of that. A10 is wherever it wants to be. But today it has decided to be IO7, chip enable A10, A11 is at A10, output enable A11, and I realized that I fucked up somewhere because that should be right next to A9, and it's not. What? Okay, we've got our IO3, 4, 5, 6. Fuck. Come on. You freaking ding dong. This should be over here. And what? All of these should be moved down one? Yes. The video where setting up the logic analyzer turns out for some reason to be the longest part. Okay. Data. And then that makes this wrong. So these need to be shifted by 1. And then we should be making more sense again. Yes, because A11 would be on 3. That's the one that should be right next to A9. This one shifts up, and okay. Alright, where are we now? A12? A12. Christian Iverson says, has it blown up yet? Not yet. But, you know, the night is still young. 12, pin 2. 7, it's the one right above 7. 13 is right below right enable, right above A8. 14 is the last one, and it is on pin 1. And I don't really care about output enable or chip enable. Right enable is tied to VCC on this chip. So I think that's everything that I want to wire up on this chip. And then I just need to connect up the clock. And I should probably hook up the pod to ground, if I'm going to be honest. Do I have the clock run anywhere? That is actually an interesting question. I might have to strap a thing to a thing. Might have to solder on a wire to system clock. Because I don't think that actually goes anywhere. I mean, I suppose I could run this thing in timing mode, in which case I don't need a clock input. That is technically an option. Where was that? But how will you fit this mess into the NES? Like this. Fuck. Wait, no, not fuck. I think we're okay. Just the old bar getting potentially in the way. But we have just enough clearance. Also, I think I can take that bar out if I really need to. Okay, that seems like something. All right, let me just run it in timing mode really quick, and we'll see if it gets some kind of results of some sort. This seems like ground. Okay, this is just a trial run to make sure things like are more or less sane with my setup. Let us start with switch it to timing mode. Good, that's set. Now format. Let's set label 1 as, let's call this data. And that starts at, that is pod 1, 0 through 7. God damn it. Done. Okay, there's our data setup. Modify label. This is address, ADDR, done. And that is everything through, what was the last one I used? 6. Pod 2, 6. So all these. You can't see anything, can you? Oh well. Starting at pod 2, 6. There we are. And now I have to decide how I want to trigger it. I already forget if we have a reset signal on here that we can use. CIC reset, potentially. And yada, that I think goes to a pad, because they provide a little spot here to put in like one of those, like to put in a pick that has the CIC chip implementation on it. So one of those pins, firstly let me make sure, ground, yes, that is a valid ground. And I want to see if CIC reset goes to one of these pins. It does, so I should be able to connect a probe thither and use that, hopefully, as a nice clean trigger. Hopefully. All right. So let's add that. CICRST. That's on 7, and I am literally just going to have no triggers and just turn it on, run it, see what my signals look like to make sure it is. Dave said, I'm not sure if the CIC reset line is useful. I'm just trying to use it to like have a nice trigger to relate everything to. Now I have to clean up all this shit. Insert data. Boost. No. Delete. Delete all. Hint. Insert. Data. Bus. Insert. Address. Bus. Insert. CIC reset. Bit 0. And I guess I will check to see if the CIC reset ever goes high. If it doesn't, then it is useless to me. So let's just set trigger on. Let's do CIC reset is 1, done, run, and reset. No, doesn't do shit. Damn. What else could be a good trigger? I mean, it kind of doesn't matter. I could, like, have it be on ROM select going low. But it's because I want to see it from boot. That's the thing. Okay, fuck it. We just won't. We just won't. We'll just look to see if the pins are doing anything obviously weird. You know what? Actually, maybe I should just. Yes, delete all, continue. And let's just look at them as, because like if one line is like being held low or something silly, if I insert data bus sequential, then it should be fairly obvious that one of them is never changing. For example, data 0, 1, and 2 appear to be stuck at ground for some reason. But that could just be because of the code that's running on here. No, but that doesn't make any sense. This should be running right now. One second. This should be fine. Yeah, it's running. So that is a big, like, either I just don't have those connected up correctly. Why the fuck are those always low? It's probably just that this damn thing isn't clipped on well. So let me turn that off, unplug this, pull the cartridge out, and I'm going to remove this damn bar. I think that's just because it's not making good contact. Okay, and hopefully, let's see, let's turn that on, see if it runs. Okay, cool. So, of course, data looks fine. I mean, everything should look fine. We see a bunch of activity on data. Let's insert address sequential. Okay. And then address I'm willing to accept some of those lines being low. But so that looks, you can see on your screen, it kind of just looks like a shit ton of static. But the point is, there's activity on all of the lines. Reasonably. Except for the address lines that I wouldn't expect activity on. Or rather, that it's okay that there may not be some activity on some of the address lines because they are always 0 because of the region of memory that the code is executing from. So, let's put the floppy controller in and see if like any of those lines just drops dead. Fuck off. So anyway. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Fuck everything. You know it's just like when I was strapping the logic analyzer on there, like I just shifted some wires around in the back there that like unshorted a short or something stupid. Get the fuck out of here. And I don't like, this chip is plugged in correctly, correct? Yes, it is. God damn it. Okay. Alright. Okay. If everything is truly working, then I believe that I should be able to, because this thing is just firing up and looking at the disk change pin 30 and 4. Assuming that it's going to be high because it is a RS-232 thingamajiggy. So anyway, I should be able to, if I plug a thing into there and see if this thing is still working, because it's just, I still don't, god damn it. God damn the world. Okay. So, point is, I should see a change, because the first thing the ROM is currently doing is it's trying to read some serial data. So yeah, grounding that did nothing, but what about touching it to VCC? Also nothing. Does that mean it's not working, or does that mean I'm a dumb monkey man? Oh, wait! You know what's a thing? I am still not actually selecting the floppy controller because we disabled that. Remember that thing? So let us reprogram this chip. Re-enable the floppy controller. And just fuck my life. And then you drop your gal on the ground, so that makes sure that it works real good. Alright. WinKubel. Uncomment. rebuild. Better, stronger, faster. Save. Run. Device dependent compile. No errors. Now let's burn it, burn it, burn it. Load. ROM FTC mapper. I don't know. I don't know how that song goes next. But 'tis programmed. And let me make sure I put it in the right way around. Won't be fooled again. Hey! That is correct as far as I know, because it's waiting for the start bit. Yeah, it's waiting for the start bit. And I believe if I tie this to ground now, it will actually, because that's an inverted input, so it will pull it up, which is probably the opposite of what I want. No. Okay, so that did work. So now it thinks it's getting all 0 bits. And if I tie this high, then it should do the same thing where it just sits there waiting. Yep, we're in business. We're in business. It's hooked up. It runs. It runs. It's good. Let me put this camera back so that you can see my glowing face. And I feel like this is not the first time this has happened. Where I've spent a bunch of time on the stream trying to debug something that is not actually an issue. Or rather, is a spurious issue. But that's okay. That's okay. That's how I roll. That is super great to see. Very, very chuffed. Very chuffed to see this. And to also see this. Because that means friends and acquaintances that we can software. So the question is, where did my little FTDI board go? Here you are, I found you, you little hoe. I need a different gender. Just leave that one hanging in the air. Okay, so TX needs to go to TX. Okay, so that's ground, CTR, VCC, TX. I think. It's one or the other. Boop. And subsequently ground. Where I said, wow, you have windows and daylight? For some reason I thought you were in the cellar. I am in the cellar. We just have kind of like a half-out basement. We don't have like a full walkout, which would be super cool. I love daylight basements. But, well, let's just, yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, so in my little dungeon, you can see, like, this is all drywall from here up. And so, yeah, like this, the hill comes down the house this way and leaves, you know, like, I don't know, 2 meters of back wall above ground in the basement. It's nice. It's cool, because you do get a lot of daylight down here, and also you can see that window down at that end is lowered a little bit, because for code here, you need an egress window if you want livable space in your basement. So, of course, this isn't livable space right now, technically. But I would like to, like, finish this basement at some point, at least a little bit. So that is very nice, because technically it is legal here for me to do so, because that is an egress window. So yeah, list of things that I will never do. Also, it's nice because when I start futzing around with, various chemicals, I can vent out the window. Okay, let me make sure that didn't break it. Okay, no, we're good. FTDI goes pluggy plug. And theoretically, if I do something silly like fire up, I got Terra Term, right? Yes, fire up Terra Term. And I believe this thing is expecting 9600 baud. Serial, USB serial port, okay. And let me make sure. Oh, I am not sharing my desktop. Do I have a desktop in this scene? No, I don't. Let me just try and copy it from over here. Display capture. Copy. Game. Paste. Oh yeah. Wait, what? That's the wrong ass monitor. You guys are seeing my behind the scenes shit. There we go. There we go. Terra Term, be all big and stuff. Not that it matters, because I don't think I have local echo on, so it's not like you're going to see what I'm typing. Terminal? No. Font? Yes. Font. Make it big. 14. 14. Get out of here with 14. That is not good enough. We need at least 36. Yeah. Still not going to see anything. We will never ever see anything because this does not transmit back. But no matter. All right, set up serial port. COM9 9600 8N1 looks good to me. So anyway, theoretically, it's going to wait when it boots up to get a character, and then I'm going to send it a character, and then, yeah. Well, that didn't work at all the way that I wanted it to. Why? Because of spurious shit. Oh, apparently I wrote it to read 4 characters? Interesting. But that's working, y'all. Somebody go on the ASCII chart online and confirm for me that a G is hex 67. Let's see, space should be 20. That's a 20, y'all. We are transmitting. We are transmitting with abandon. Do you guys want to do some software? Because I would love to do some software. Yeah. What to do first? I guess let's write some. Yes, Dave confirms. Uppercase G is 47, lowercase is 67. And I was sending a lowercase g. So, okay, how long have we been going? 2 hours, 41 minutes. All right, then let's just futz around. Just real quick, real short. We'll get into this more next episode. But we're done. The dev cart is done. It is done. So we can, at part 4 or whatever I called this, we can finally stop titling them NES dev cart fuckity fuck redo number 3000, whatever it was. We can be done with that title now. We can move on to doing things again. Dave says, don't ask how much brain damage I have that the ASCII hex codes are memorized. Dave, I don't need to ask. I do not need to. I'm just impressed at the fact that you have memory in your head. It's a skill that I am unfamiliar with. Okay, so, yes, what fun thing to do. Let's see how quickly we can... Let's see, in TerraTerm, you can just send... You can just, like, send binary file, right? File, like, without doing zterm or anything, like, just raw. Send file. But will it just send it at... Oh, yes, option, binary. Sick. Okay, so, I should be able to just fucking write... Let's see how quickly I can write a bootloader routine for the ROM. Dave says, only been writing commands direct registers on my VGA card the past week using the Apple II monitor ROM. I'm sorry your brain is broke. Right, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I suppose this would be the right screen. Let us pull up Visual Studio Code for the first time in months. And yet again, relearn how to write a fucking piece of code. Okay, y'all. So right now, let's see what it's doing. Because of course, I don't remember this point. It does some stuff. I'm scrolling the wrong way because Macintosh. Setup. Blah, 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 blah. That's why it's doing that. I don't remember why I did this, but it's because it is printing an OK. I guess after initialization because, sure. And we didn't do a pernt char after the K. So that's what that O is about. I was asking long ago. Okay, so... Theoretically, I already... And I thought I did. I vaguely remembered that I was writing... Sorry, hold up. Dumb fingers. The fuck? Caps lock's off. There we go. Okay. That I was writing a bit of boot code. Oh, wait, what? Hold up. Okay, was I just storing... Well, let's read the goddamn code. So, get and print gets the value off of the bitbank serial and prints it to the screen. And we have this location called address, and we have a location called serial entry address, and yeah, so anyway, we get the high part of the address, we get the low part of the address, and then, oh weird, why? So we actually store it both in address and serial entry address because some reason. Address is like, that's the address for the monitor, isn't it? Oh, anyway. Then we do get and print and we push it. Then we do get and print. And then we add them, apparently. Oh, this seems vaguely familiar. So we add... Okay, right, so it's supposed to be that. So I didn't do the part where we actually... do the booting, but we got as far as right. What this is doing is it's getting the entry address to start writing the code at and to jump to from those first 2 bytes. and it is also putting that in address, but then it is adding the second 2 bytes to address, and that's going to be our, like, that would be our end address. Oh yeah, and then it stores it in serial end address. There you go. I don't know why I used 2 separate locations for that, but fucking whatever. Like, I could have just used serial end address. Anyway, there's a lot of things I could have done here that I didn't. Anyway, an attempt was being made. So I think the point here was that I stopped here to make sure that I actually was calculating those values correctly. That seems right. And then, because then we jumped into the monitor. But what does serial boot read next? So we get a value. I mean, this is code that we're not entering yet, but what was this supposed to be? Oh. This is the part that's supposed to be reading bytes and putting them into the place. Oh! Wait, okay. So address is like the current address pointer. That's why. That's why. And then we were like storing things backwards. That seems vaguely correct. Oh. No, I'm this is getting clearer and clearer. So, right, we're not overwriting address here. We're just adding address to the incoming byte and then storing it to calculate serial end address. But address doesn't change. Right. It stays the same as serial entry address. And then address gets used as our pointer for writing the bytes as they come in. Yeah. Alright, so like, yeah, I this is like the whole booter is here. So that's convenient. I mean, we were clearly in the middle of testing it, but there's stuff here to work with. So this should go fast-ish or not at all. Anyway, so what we should see at this point is if I send over some bytes, then I can use the monitor to see if our shit looks right. If the calculations, if the values in address, serial entry address, and serial end address all look correctamundo. So I guess let's do that, because that was where we were at, is that I wrote this code and then I was starting to debug it, but I couldn't debug it because the card was flaky as balls. So yeah. So you know what I'm going to do is, do I have XVI32 on here? I sure do. Let me make a binary file, and I shall call it something. But mainly what I will do is insert. I think I need to insert, and we'll just do some arbitrary values just to make sure that the math is working out right. Overwrite? No. How do I insert some new stuff? Oh, new? Yeah, apparently. Okay, cool. But new. Do not save. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you fucker. New again. No. Oh, I forgot how weird this is sometimes. Let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's just make sure those get added together correctly. Lovely. Save. And I'm just... if you're not following, I'm just going to use this file as like my thing to feed into TerraTerm. So that I don't... I mean, it's the easiest way, I think, to send some bytes over to this thing. I could write a little, like, C# program or something, but I'm just going to do this. Source, let's call this... I don't know. Boot test dot... Let's not call it bin, because I don't want to confuse it with my ROM images. Let's call it boot test dot... I don't know. Boot test dot ser for serial. No, SRB for serial boot, but also for solid rocket booster. Yes, yes. Okay, and then I want to go to my documents and go to my documents and go to Duke Nukem Forever. Wait, no, it's just a PC, NES, source. What the heck did I just call that thing? Boot test SRB. Set it to binary. And then let us go over hither, reset, and for starters, make sure that this like sends in a way that the pacing is decent. No, I am definitely going to have to adjust the pacing. Serial port. I don't know. Let's just give it 20 milliseconds per character, because that seems good. Probably excessive, but I think it is important. And, oh, I just want to make sure that that actually took. Serial port. Yeah, that did not take. Clicking new settings saves it? Interesting. 20. New setting. Okay. Alright, that saves it apparently. Let's try this again. Reset this fucker. Dave says Half-Life 3 folder. Did I have a Half-Life 3 folder in there? I'm fairly certain you're just joking, but I can't remember if I put a joke folder in there. And Wareham said, I think it's just like the homework folder. Why am I losing my mind? It's not even late. Send file. Boot test SRB. There we go. Okay, that pacing. That pacing is sufficient. And then I guess I'll just... What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is my loop off by 1? Because that would be an issue. Getting print. And then it should just be there, unless this code has changed since I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, the 7.8 didn't send, right? Is it in the file? Did I put a 7.8 in there? Yes, there is a 7.8 in there. Oh, maybe my pacing isn't. Maybe do I need to add milliseconds? Millisecond seems like a long ass time. Let's check. Adjust our pacing again. Set up serial port. But here's the main thing. Did you notice that like it's not taking a shit all over itself every 5 seconds? I will take that. I will take that very much, please indeed, because that was the whole, like, I should be celebrating more. That was the whole reason that we were like, let's get rid of those long-ass wires and, like, move everything onto one board so that you don't have crazy runs. And that seems to have done exactly what we wanted. It was not a waste. No matter what my parents say. No, my parents are lovely people and they love me very much. Okay, now we just got 1, 2, 5, 6. That's... Let's set our pacing super, 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 super duper slow. Let's do 300 milliseconds per character. Okay, that is definitely excessive. Let's make sure it works every time. It is excessive, but it works. And this is Bit Bang Serial, so... You know, we get what we get. Okay, that is actually reliable. So it is the pacing. Or it seems likely that it is the pacing. So now, let me see how far I can pull this down before it laughs at me. I don't know, let's put it back at 50. Reset. Oh my god, the reliability, it's through the roof. Lovely, let's try that again. Then we'll see if we can knock it down to 40, and if we can't, then that's fine. I will stop fucking with it. I didn't change anything. What am I doing? Set up. Boo, 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 doo, dee, doo, doo, doo. Serial port. Let's tune this pacing down to 40. Let's send some shite. Alright, that seems fine. Let's do it one more time. Just to make me feel warm and fuzzy. Seems good to me. Okay, so now that we have sent, theoretically, what was just sent, based on the code from myself that I am trying to decipher, the code from the past, 1234 is the base address to load the payload and to jump to. 5678 is the count of bytes to transfer. As such, we should see 1234 in our address location. We should see 1234 in our in our in it. We should see it in address. We should see it in serial bootload start address, whatever that was called, and in serial end address, we should see 1234 plus 5678 with any requisite carry done properly. So let's see what those addresses are supposed to be. And then we're dead on 3 hours right now. So I will do that, I'll confirm that, and then what say next time we try booting some shit. Are you cool with that? It's slow because the print waits for the vsync. Yep, that's right. You're totally right. Which you have to do for some reason, and I could probably make that more efficient, but fucking whatever. I mean, we could definitely make it more efficient by just not printing the numbers, but... Okay, so addresses at 0 page 0D, so let's start there. 0D, set, dump. I feel I have just trolled myself somehow. 0D. What? Why is there 0D at 0D? That's, huh. Okay. Let's look at serial and address. Where is that supposed to be? So serial entry address is at 22. 0022. 1234. Okay. Cool. And then serial and address is at 20. So 0020. That should be 68 AC seems believable. Let's check. Let's check the math. Calculadora. Tell me all the things you know, Calculadora. Let's go into hex mode. Let's clear the screen. Let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4. And add it to 5, 6, 7, 8. 68 AC? 68 AC. Okay, that's cool. Now the question is this. Oh! Well, that seems obvious now, actually. You know why address is set to 0D? Because, like I said earlier, that's the address pointer that the monitor uses. Dingus. So the second you enter the monitor, it resets it to whatever the current address is. Oh, duh. Duh. So the second I execute that 000D plus, it sets that address to 000D. Okay. Well, neato burrito. I am tempted to keep playing with this. Okay. This deserves a mild finale, so let's do that thing. Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to remove this. Remove this. We'll see if this code just works. And if it does, then that's super cool. If not, then that's also totally fine. But, you know, why not? Why not try? Build it up. Also, oh my goodness, how light, airy, and easy it feels to only have to remove one EEPROM when you're burning your firmware. Now that's just lightweight shit. Okay. Over here, go to Chippy Chips. That Chippy Chip, please. Load, please. Browse, please. Basic.bin, built at 6:57 p.m. 1 minute ago. Perfect. Open it. And then do I have to do something weird? No, I can just load this, right? Fucking hell. Okay, it's 64K. So it was, because it's a 32K chip, so was it, what was I doing? I was just skipping the first 32K, right? Right? I don't remember anymore. But that's what I'm going to try. So from start at 8,000, right? Right? Yes. I think yes. There is an easy way to make sure that I am not crazy, and that is to look at the reset vectors. This seems weird. These seem believable. Let's see, so that would be F065 would be my reset vector. So let's look at 7. I mean, that looks like it's probably fine. But let's look at what is that gonna be? That's gonna be 7065. Twould seem 7065, 7065. That looks likely. Seven 065. Yep, that looks right. Okay, I think I did that good. Program the chip. Program the chip. Shylon said when loading basic bin was the starting address at 8,000 or 4,000. It's 8,000. I just figured it out for the both of us. Okay, let's hope that the act of jamming this back into the cart doesn't re-break things. But, you know, like if this all happens to work perfectly, then this might be the last time I have to burn this chip for a while. It won't work perfectly. Let's get that idea out of our heads right now. Wow, what the fuck? Okay, alright. Alright. Okay, I guess I have to decide what to send now, right? Sorry, I don't think I can make the font in XVI32 any bigger, but I'm going to delete all of this, or actually overwrite mode. So let's do overwrite, and let's set our base address to, what the frick is the base address of my SRAM? Is it at 0? No. Yes. No. So I think the way we mapped it, the floppy controller is at 8,000, and then the SRAM starts... Fuck it, why don't I just look at my source? So... it was SRAM chip enable is... Right, we have to think of this backwards. It is, the SRAM is disabled if the program chip enable is disabled, or A12 and A13 and A14 are all high, oh, right, because it's the, basically if we're not in the ROM area or the floppy area is what this is saying. That's right. And so basically we just need to look at what would be the end of ROM, or really rather what would be the end of the floppy controller. Hold up. So the floppy controller starts at 8,000. Yes. So it's the first 256 bytes. Because what it's saying is if A14 or A13 or A12 or A11 or A10 or A9 or A8 is high, then the floppy controller is not selected. And as such, that means if any of those are high, or only if they're all low, is the floppy controller selected. But that means that A7 through A0 can be any value and it's still going to be selected. So ROM is above. ROM is everything where A12, A13, and A14 are high, which is some K. I'm not going to do that math in my head right now because I'm too dumb. But our SRAM should start after the first 256K. So that should start at 8100 hex. If I'm understanding my own shit correctly, which is doubtful. Absolutely doubtful. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to this. Let's go back to XVI 32. That's not XVI 32. This is XVI 32. And so let's try that out. We will start loading at 8100. And then we will send, I don't know, let's just send, like it doesn't matter. Let's send 16. Let's 16 is a good number. So it's gonna be 0, 0, 1, 0, and then we put in 16 values is the way that this is supposed to work. So shitty balls. Okay, I'm just gonna keep using this these overwrite and insert tools because I am too dumb. 8100 0010, and after this, what I'm going to send is 00 01 02 03 04 05 06 07 08 09 OA OB OC OD OE OF. I seem to have hit the end of the text box. Or not. Okay. And that should be our 16 values. And okay. Can't overwrite beyond the end of file. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Delete from cursor. Sure. Insert string. Okay. There we go. That works just fine. 11, 12, 13. Sure. Okay. Let's save that. Saved. And let's reboot. Or no, we don't need to reboot. It's still sitting there waiting for us. So let's chuck that into Terraterm and to see how it goes. File, send file, cross your fingers, but this probably ain't gonna work. Boot test.srb. Oh, right, because it's... Oh, you dumbass piece of shit. I was thinking it was going to dump me into the monitor for some silly reason, and then I could check the values. But no, that's not how this works. It does look like we have an off by 1 in the read loop, but it looks like the loop is doing stuff. So I guess now what we have to try is, like, actually writing a damn program. Anyway, shall we leave this on a cliffhanger a little bit? Maybe. I'm quickly running out of joy on this at the moment, so I want to keep it at a peak and say, hey, this looks pretty good. Next time, let's crack this open again and see if we can actually run a program. Because the thing is, I don't want to write a fucking program right now. I don't want to do it because I have to write some kind of program that, like, prints some more shit on the screen. And it's not gonna be too hard, but I just don't want to fucking do it right now. So, with that, I shall leave you guys. But, like, we're leaving on a super good note. The cartridge, it's done. It's finally friggin' done. It's done. It's done. It's obviously done. It's done. So now we can get back to doing software shit, y'all. So next time, we will make sure the serial bootloader works real good and stuff, and then we can, like, build a little bit of tool. Like, we're just going to get hard into software zone, which is going to make me super happy, because it's been a while. We'll make a little tooling so that, like, we can have a small tool chain that can just, like, build like, assemble some shit and immediately chuck it over the serial to the thingy and run it, and then we can just, like, get in a build, compile, execute loop. and then we'll see about this. We'll see about this floppy drive. We'll see about this floppy drive. We'll see about how we're gonna do the old Big Bang serial with the floppy drive plugged in. I legitimately think I'm just gonna chop up the floppy cable a little bit so that because I don't need the disk change signal. I don't need it. At least I don't right now for sure. So I think I'll just chop up the floppy cable so that that wire, which should be, it's a wire right on the edge. So fingers crossed, I should just be able to like take the outermost wire, separate it a little bit, clip it. Hopefully it doesn't have to get more complicated than that. But anyway, and then just like solder the wire for the serial straight to it. But yeah, cool. We doed it. We doed it. Now we can really start writing some shit. Feels good. I kind of felt like maybe I would never get back to it, and now here we are. Okay. I guess that's that. So I will see you guys around next time, at the soonest next weekend, but maybe not even then. We'll just have to see, because that's the way I do it. But thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, see ya, love ya, bye.